In this video, we're going to be looking at a verbal reasoning question type called alphabet logic. Some of this material has been taken from our verbal reasoning books, which you can find linked in the video description down below, alongside a free PDF with 20 questions for you to try after watching this video. So let's start by taking a look at the explanation in our book. These questions are about letters and the alphabet. So there isn't really one way of answering these questions. It depends on what the question is, but you do need to be aware of certain things such as vowels, consonants, as well as some other things that we'll look into in a minute. So the first example, put the consonants of the word cinematic in alphabetical order. So firstly, what is a consonant and what is a vowel? Well, vowels are A, E, I, O and U. Consonants are all the other letters. In this word cinematic, we've got to figure out which letters are consonants. As you can see here, vowels, consonants. So step 2, the consonants in the word cinematic are C, N, M, T and C. Notice how we've put the C twice in that list because there are 2 different C's in that word. So these are the letters we've got to put into alphabetical order. This was the original order and here they are alphabetically. Now with these questions you probably will be given the alphabet in front of you, but if not, just write it out very quickly before you start. So in order, C, C, M, N and T. Some other examples could include things like what's the most common letter. So what's the most common letter in the word threat? That's T, because there's 2 T's in that, and every other letter has 1. What is the 5th letter of the alphabet? Very straightforward, that's E. And what position of the alphabet does the middle letter of the word ace occupy? Couple of steps to look at there. So middle letter of the word ace is C, and then translate that into the position of the alphabet. C is the 3rd letter, so the answer would be 3. Also, you probably will have some multiple choice options when you're doing this question type, so if you find an answer that isn't the one that you thought it was, it probably isn't correct. So let's take a look at some of the questions we've created specifically for this video. So our first question is, what is the 13th letter of the alphabet? Now the easy way to do this is to obviously count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and that's M. However, to work a little bit quicker, it's worth remembering that there are 26 letters in the alphabet, which means that the midpoint is between M and N. So whenever I get these types of questions, I draw a line in between M and N. So if you, for example, get given a question that says, what's the 17th? I'm not going to start from A, I would probably start from N and say 14, 15, 16, 17. So it saves some time in the exam. So the 13th letter of the alphabet is going to be M, just before our midpoint. Question 2, what is the most common letter in the word treatment? Now, you should be able to see this straight away, but if not, we can have a look. T, there's 3 of those. There's 1 R, 2 E's, 1 A, 1 M, 1 N. So, T is the most common letter in the word treatment. Number 3, what is the 3rd consonant after the 3rd vowel? So we're going to have a couple of steps here. When you get a list of steps like this, so you've got to work towards the answer, you tend to have to work backwards. So we're going to start by looking at the 3rd vowel, and then after we've found that, go and look at the 3rd consonant after it. So the 3rd vowel, remember your vowels are A, E, I, O and U. So your 3rd vowel is I. So what is the 3rd consonant after I? So we find I in the alphabet and we go, your first consonant is going to be J, 2nd K, 3rd L. So that one, L, is the 3rd consonant after the 3rd vowel. So this was me just easing you in a little bit. Let's take a look at some more complicated questions. Question 4, how many more vowels are there in dissociation than dislocation? So we're looking only for the vowels, so I'm going to highlight that for us here. We've got an I, an O, an I, an A, an I, and an O. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in that one. So I'm just going to write 6 there. And then we're going to look at the vowels in dislocation. So we've got an I, an O, an A, an I, and an O. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there are 5 vowels in dislocation. Now the question says how many more vowels are there in dissociation than dislocation. So how many more? That is going to be 1, because 6 is 1 more than 5, so 1 is our answer. Question 5. How many more S's are there in possessiveness than Mississippi? These questions can be a nightmare sometimes. How many more S's are there? Right, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 S's in possessiveness. Mississippi has 1, 2, 3, 4. So how many more S's are there? 2. And finally, when the consonants of the word characteristic are put in alphabetical order, which letter comes third? Okay, so I'm going to go through and I'm going to cross off each letter as I go through. We have 2 A's, we have no B's, we have 1, 2, 3 C's. Okay, let's take a look at our alphabet. C, no D's, no E's, no F. Oh no, we've got an E. We have an E. 1 there. E, F, G, H. We have an H as well. H, I. We have 2 I's. 1 there and 1 there. H, I. We're left with R, S, and T. So again, if we don't have to go through every letter of the alphabet, we know R, S, T are already in alphabetical order. So we're going to take 1 R, 2 R's, 1 S, and 2 T's. Okay, we're not done yet because the question says once they're put in alphabetical order, which letter comes third? Now again, notice how when I've got more than one of the letters, I've still put them in there. So we've got 2 A's, 3 C's, an E, etc. It's asking which letter comes third. So we've got our list. Position 1 is A, position 2 is A, position 3 is C. So C is our answer for that. So as you can see, these questions vary quite a lot. We've given you a few examples here of what could show up. Obviously a multiple choice sheet in those types of exams will also make it easier. If you find that one of these questions takes too long to do, such as that last one, you can always skip it, do the easy ones that take less time, and come back to it later. To gain more familiarity with these types of questions and to see what other types of questions can come up, you can look at the free PDF with 20 questions in the description down below, alongside the verbal reasoning book. I hope you found that useful. To watch another verbal reasoning video, click on one of these boxes over here, and don't forget to like and subscribe.